What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Good Boys, out in theaters now. Comedy written or created by the guys that brought us Superbad. I don't know what that means, but that's how they sold us on the movie. Trailers for it forever throughout leading up. It was always, the trailer for this movie was always put next to the Booksmart trailer, which is about two girls, but they're in high school, but similar kind of stories in a lot of ways, and both feature the same shadow mouth song or whatever. Really good song. I really enjoy the song. The song's also in both of the movies, but it was really weird for the lead up of this movie for the trailers to be back-to-back trailers, both featuring the same exact song. It really kind of wore out that song a bit. But the movie itself is funny. It's about middle school or sixth graders. That's middle school, right? Yeah, sixth graders. And they're invited to a party from the cool kid, and it's a kissing party. So these kids are on an adventure to try and, show up to the party cool and be educated when it comes to kissing. A very, standard style of kid raunchy comedy, except for the fact that it features three sixth graders, allows for the type of hilarious ignorance that most comedies try and pull off with adults, but it just never seems to work. It's where you have somebody who's of a certain age that should just know certain things. A lot of comedies do this with adults, like the Ghostbusters remake with when they switched it up to females. Everybody was kind of had a layer of stupidity and ignorance over it. All the men in that movie are legitimately stupid, but for a comedy, they just make people stupid, and that's supposed to be funny. Which I find that to be a really lazy way of writing a comedy film, is just to make people stupid. But when you have sixth graders, it works perfectly. First off, going to a movie theater by myself, I watch movies by myself all the time. Love going to the movie theater. That way my phone is away. I'm not distracted. It's a great big screen, great sound, the perfect way to watch the movie. So I like going to the movie theaters. But going to see this particular movie was a little awkward. As an adult. I mean, it's not quite as awkward maybe as going to see just an animated kids movie by myself in a packed theater of families. It wasn't a packed theater of families, but I am watching these kids do, I guess they're not that crazy shit, but it's not like Kids the movie crazy shit. But it was still, there were definitely awkward moments because and it took me back to a time when I was in sixth grade and how ignorant I was with everything involving sex. There's a scene which, again, the trailer for this movie kind of spoils a lot of the comedic moments. But in the trailer and in the movie, there's a scene where they want to get weapons, and one of the kids whose parents tend to be more sexually adventurous, he has a whole plethora of sex toys that came out. And it reminded me of a time when I was a kid and I found my mom's sex toy and thought it was a toy and played with it. And I don't know if it was sixth grade, but it was right around that time, maybe fifth grade. But it's crazy to think of how little I knew about sex. And there was no internet back then. For me, so, being able to look up things, and I probably wouldn't have looked them up, right? Most kids aren't thinking, before puberty hits, they're not thinking about sex. They're thinking about being cool, right? Which the movie definitely hits on that, where the cool kid, which was kind of I don't know. The whole thing was good. It was good. It's a good movie. It's a funny movie. There's a lot of funny moments in it. All of the beats are definitely spoiled in the trailer. So, them running across a freeway is funny. I mean, they're funnier in the movie, but the fact that that these things are going to happen to these kids on their journey, it's just like it's so sad, man, that the trailers for these movies are just like doing the worst possible service to the movies. One thing, a lot of comedies that I do enjoy when they do make a good trailer is that they'll have funny bits that aren't even in the movie. That's kind of a little workaround, I think, that some comedies have done that I enjoy more so than something like this that basically just gives away all the beats. But it's fun, They use a drone. One of the other kids, his dad is a architect or whatever, and he has a fancy drone that for some reason gets left out on a charging base. And of course, he's not supposed to use it. But they need to spy on their nymphomaniac neighbor, right, who has sex at night and during the day. And shit happens. They lose the drone, and now it's them trying to get the drone back, while the girls that have the drone are trying to get their drugs back that they stole in order to ransom back their. It's a whole complex story, right? They steal drone, girls steal drone, boys steal drugs, and then drama ensues. It does go a little bit overboard, I think, towards the end. I mean, not towards the end, but through a lot of this where there's a lot of unnecessary things these girls are doing to get their drugs. First off, there's a scene, right? He steals a purse, and the drugs are in the purse in a children's vitamin thing, which they don't know how to open, which is a funny thing. It's a funny movie overall. It really is. But also in the purse is her phone, right? And there's a moment in this thing where they try to ditch everything because they think the phone is they're tracking the phone to find them. So they throw the phone into a prickly bush. And at no point in this entire movie does this teenage girl get angry that her phone is gone. The only thing they care about are the Molly that they got to take at a concert, right? Not that you can't get drugs at a concert or buy more drugs. It's that's more important than the phone that was lost. Like it's not even a thing anymore. It just, I threw away your phone because you were tracking us. Not even a hesitation. It's just, where's the Molly? But overall, it's funny. I mean, there's moments like that where it's like, okay, but it's a comedy movie featuring kids, so it's kind of such a weird contrast to have like a raunchy comedy mixed with that kind of age group of kids. It works really well. It works better, I think, than a lot of movies, like I said, when they try and do the same thing with adults. Also, kind of like, what was that movie? Cock Blockers. That was there's people that like that movie, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind that anybody thinks Cock Blockers is a funny movie. It's just the dumbest. Like this is by far way superior as a comedy to that. But for some reason, I think it won't get reviewed the same. But it's funny. Go watch it. It's weird to watch kids be raunchy, but just get into it. But that's it for this episode. Go watch Good Boys. I keep wanting to call them Bad Boys, but they're good. They're good boys. And don't watch the trailer for it. It'll just spoil it. Just go in fresh. You don't need to watch the trailer. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out daily. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my original artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% with the coupon code RTS. Follow me on all social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!